traveled a long way to get here, but why he's here and how he got here is kind of a secret. So I'm going to let him explain all that.
Our morning meeting can now start. Again, morning meeting should now begin. It is now 8 a.m. Our staff, please make sure you have your appropriate location. Thank you.
So I have a question for you. I pedaled all the way to Washington DC from Paris. Pedaled, did I say it right? Kind of like on a bicycle. How do you think that's possible? And then, or is it? And I never bought any food on the whole trip. It took me, I started in Paris the 6th of January and I never ever bought any food. How do you think I managed to make it all the way here without ever buying food? Is this possible? Yes?
Water.
Do what?
Drinking water.
So I had to drink water, but food brings us calories. So I had, as I pedaled, I had to use lots of calories. Calories is pretty much the energy that makes our body move. And there is none in water. Water doesn't bring us calories. So how did I manage to...
Fish on the way?
No, I didn't fish. I didn't hunt, I didn't fish. How do you think I did?
You eat opportunities.
Did you say that? Yeah. That's actually, most of the food I ate was either already in the trash or it was just about to go. Most of the time, about to go. 100% of the food I've been eating was meant to be thrown away. So I'm going to show you a small video of the trip, but yeah, on the Atlantic. So I crossed from Morocco to the Caribbean on a pedal boat. It took me 4 months. And during the whole trip, I was only eating expired food. This is the food that says best before. And what best before means is the food is better before the date, and after maybe it won't be as good, but we can still eat it. And unfortunately, a lot of people in Europe will throw away this food. I ate a bag of rice that said best before November 2006, and I ate it about 4 months ago, and I'm still healthy. So this is the pedal boat. So you see it's big, I had a place to sleep, and this was of course I was alone. I was pretty much locked on the boat with only expired food, and my goal was to survive from one continent to another, making the point about food waste. So yeah. I knew I was able to do it, but I only had one chance. Maybe it would have taken me 5 times to do it, and I knew I had to do it the first chance, the first time. So this is when I was doubting, would it work the first try? Maybe I would crash the boat, or something could happen, and then I wouldn't have a second chance. So yeah, I doubted sometimes. Yes.
What were some of your thoughts when you was riding in a storm in that small boat?
What were my thoughts?
Your thoughts, yeah.
In certain situations, like during the storm, you're not really afraid because the storm arrives slowly, and you're always I'm still here, and then 5 seconds later you're I'm still here, so it's still okay, and then 5 seconds, and you're always I've made it this far, and you're maybe I'm gonna make it 10 more seconds, and then 1 more minute, and then 10 more minutes, and then you're maybe I'll probably still be there when it's over, because it comes slowly. It's not something that will scare you right away. It doesn't, it comes the storm takes, the waves get bigger and bigger, but You don't have like one huge wave coming at you. So step by step, you kind of get into it, and then you really concentrate on the situation. When you know it's difficult, and you concentrate on like, what's the best thing I can do right now. What motivated me to do this project is pretty much like the starving people around the world, or even people who don't have, who can't cook, or who don't even have a kitchen because they're in a situation of war, and this is also like making things more difficult for people to feed themselves. And so whenever times were difficult, I would, think of these people as well, and this is what pretty much motivated me to do this project. Yeah, I didn't have any food that had to be kept in the fridge. Like, all the food I had was, like I said, like the best before date. This is the kind of food that we keep in the closets at home, or in jars, like cereals, beans, all of this. So it didn't have to be kept in the fridge. Yes, ma'am.
So I had a question. I understand your goal and what you were trying to accomplish, but what was that pivotal point in your life that made you decide to want to do something like that? Like, were you seeing those type of issues in your own country where people are just tossing the food?
Yeah, when I was a student, actually, I worked in a fast food restaurant to like pay for my studying years. And actually, this is the point where I realized the amount of food that we wasted, and I started feeling guilty about it. I felt guilty because I started to investigate, I don't know if it's the best word, but like, what are the resources used for this food, and how is it a problem? And I realized, like, when we waste food, we hurt the environment because we use lots of energy to create this food. Someone has to work to create the food. We pay for it, we use water, and then some people don't have enough money to buy food because I'm throwing some away in the trash. Like, there is enough food on earth to feed everyone. And if people are starving today, it's because some people destroy the food that others could feed themselves with. And this is something I felt really guilty about. When I was a kid, when my parents or everyone around me would tell me, like, finish your food, don't waste food, because some kids are not lucky and they're starving. And I think, like, when I was 19, 20, which seems pretty late to me to realize this, I realized it wasn't a matter of luck, who's lucky and who's not, it was who's responsible, and who's responsible for the misery of other people. And if there's enough resources on earth, then there's no reason that some people starve and some don't. It's because I was throwing away, I was destroying a resource that others wouldn't have it. Well, if we don't, the problem is maybe we import too much food in developed countries. Because you've studied economy, right? Around, you've already had economy class, kind of. Well, whether you have or not, you know when something is rare, the price goes up. And food is like a global market. So it's not, I'm not saying like, when you have food that's about to be wasted, it should be sent to someone who needs it. It's like, how come you ate and you're not hungry anymore and there's still food and there's still so much food that is going to be destroyed? Maybe we produce too much food, or maybe we import too much food and use an excessive amount of resources to do so. So it makes the price go up. And then when the rice is in our country, in the rich countries, and then they're like, oh my God, I ordered too much rice, there's too much, I don't need that much, and then I throw some away, it's destroyed. But the price in Asia is still up because I ordered too much. You understand the idea? Like, it's the same with gold, you know, the more people buy gold, the higher the price goes. And with the food, it's the same. The more we ask for, the higher the price gets. And if we ask for something we don't need, we're making the price go up. And and as a result, people will not have enough money to buy the food that they could have bought if we didn't order it, if we don't waste it. see what I mean? It's not like we have to stop wasting food and send it somewhere. It's maybe we need to look like where the food is coming from, and it's like a general problem on the supply chain from maybe from the fields to our plates. And there's the producer, there's like supermarkets, and food waste is not just us at home. There is us at home in the restaurants. Food is being wasted like in many parts, but we're responsible for us at home, and we're also in a way responsible for where is the food coming from. We can ask ourselves, where is it coming from also, and choose where we want it. Do we want to grow our own food? Do we want to buy it to a certain farmer or to a big supermarket without knowing where it's from? Even if in a really big supermarket, you can ask yourself, what kind of food am I getting? Some nights were actually part of my best souvenirs of the project, because when there was no moon, like I could see so many stars around me, and seeing even in the ocean seems a little bit quieter at night. And so yeah, I can't show you like pictures of the sky at night because my camera wouldn't. I had like the phone I still have today. But you wouldn't like catch all the stars, but there were like billions and billions of stars that I had never seen before. When the moon was you know, it happens like one time in a month when there's no moon, you have like full moon, and then sometimes you have no moon at all. And I could see like all the stars in the Milky Way, and it was like sparkles all over, and the plankton as well, like glows in the you know, when you hit the waves and the, how do you call it, the plankton, it's like glowy. So it would really feel amazing at night. Yeah, and then from Miami I took a bicycle and my last destination is New York.
You took a bike here?
Yeah. I rode a bicycle to Morocco. So I crossed France and Spain to get to Morocco on a bicycle. And during this journey I was only eating food meant to be wasted in restaurants, supermarkets, in any kind of food that was going to the trash. This is how I fed myself, to show like the quantity of food that we waste. To show like anywhere I go there's food waste, and there's so much food wasted that I can even feed myself only and use the energy to make the bicycle go forward. In Morocco, I got on the pedal boat and used only expired food to pedal across America. And then starting from Miami, I took a bicycle, and I'm going to New York, and this is over. In a bicycle, yeah. On the bicycle. So I think that was it. Thanks a lot, guys. And there is a... I'll send you the link. There's a Facebook page called, and there's also a website, like if you want to have more info. The Facebook page is called Let's Stop Food Waste. So you can find it if you guys want to follow or see more pictures of the project and see if I'm still alive and healthy when I arrive in New York. New York is like the final destination, then it's vacation time.